Ba parliament balayizidwa bonna olunaku lw'eggulo ebitaano mu abiri mu mwenda ewatali gamba nti ono yenna teyazze oba waliwo yalemeddwa oba waliwo yalwadde oba waliwo yakoze atya. Okay, omukuku nabuzanyisa okulaba
anti kakati Bobi Wine omusango yagutwala mu bantu tebagusaze ne kumusinga
abantu bagusaze ddi
ate waliwo ombaka parliament atazze waliwo gwe bakubya amayinja n'ababe bazze
bonna bazze
ekitegeeza ze nabagamba nti
ekyo kooti ya Bobi Wine y'abantu kati nayo yasaze ogwayo
yasaze n'emala walabyeyo omubaka atazze n'abantu be
abaka bali 529 bonna 529 bazze nga n'abanuupu bonna n'eshami Malende yali
yagamba nti system ya Museveni nzibu nnyo okulwanyisa kubanga ezaala abalongo tosobola kwegaana kati oba waso n'otwala kuumu kakati Bobi Wine kikakasa bamuwangula gye yalina amaanyi abebe bayitamu gye atalina amaanyi bakola ki
bawangulwa
ate tulina okulonda kwa mirundi ebiri okwa president ne parliament
bikolwa ku lunaku lwerumu saawa ezimu
kakati Bobi Wine alinga omukulu wa bandi abo abayimbi babikola nnyo ayinza okugenda ku embassy ne bamuva visa abadongo ne bagenda kati bannayuganda kye bakola Bobi Wine yiba mu visa ne batwala abadongo bazzi abadongo bo visa baagifuna era ennyonyi baagirinnye yes that's what it means. You cannot deny one. Toyinza kubeera ng'ekyuma kiboomu bano ne bakkiriza ebivudde
so kati Bobi Wine akola atya awummule paka
ekiwedde era nze nadde ku mukolo gw'aba DP chairman we Kasanda babadde alayira I went there wano gwange ne mmawe yabaddeyo ne mbaga nti mmwe bammawo bano temubanenya si banafu naye gwe balwana naye w'amaanyi nnyo
abavunana bammawo ne baga nti mu struggle yabalema mu byagaana mutulimba bulimbi
nibaga gwe mutunuliro we si munafu ne Beni omugaga yali mu kukola ekibiina kya DP ono yakikoze ne Semugere yalina abazungu kyamulema. This man is not weak naye gwalwana naye
mawo
imuyi w'amaanyi Museveni w'amaanyi and is underestimated.
So kati Bobi Wine abakaye bonna balayidde ekyo kyawedde banku nnyingi basegirinya
omusanga abantu bagusaze kuba baalisi
eyo kooti y'abantu
tewawuli abaganda bagundi president yabayita wano ng'aleeta etteeka eriteekako ebibonerezo ku bakabaka abamenye constitution tebaga nti mweyiwe ku luguudo mwenna mulaba omuganda alinnyayo waligayo Bobi Wine tulaba agendayo abalayidde babakubye
anze bwe naye nti Bobi Wine agonze kwe kubayita n'abaga nti bannange president Museveni ajja bbawo ebifo temubikkiriza temukola mutya
kakati plan for something else naye mwene kankubuulire abantu abasinga obungi nze ate bwe ntunuulira Bobi Wine ku bannabyabufuzi ba wano ate asikuwalinga nnyo kuba waali ebyo bolowooza balina experience kakati nze banneewerera okunzita kyamaani anti omumanyi yatudde ne munne namuga nti akasajja kabobbola essasi
naye gwe bamanyi nti bawuliriza tebatya kwogera ekyo
anti beerimba buli kaseera kati tuli wano kati gundi kakati ebyuma tubijeeko nze nakabatunuulira baleeta abachina ne booza essimu nga mbalaba bwenti akachina ne kabafera ne kagenda ne bakola zoom yazzeeko luli ne baga nti zoom yammwe Abamerika bagiyingiramu nga mujoogerako ebyama era yazzeemu fellowship yazzeemu balimba Museveni mbu bamukolera ulira akatambi ako kakube
yamugambye chairman
yagenda y'omusajja namwagalira mukazi omusajja twamugoba mu gavumenti
anti ogenda n'ogira n'oga nti kati
temwajagalira mukazi mwe munnemedde
ogenda n'obagamba nti
eggwanga lyaffe si faamu
ate bw'ogira n'obaddamu
si faamu ya muntu.
But if you spend over a full hour, just destroying my name, it doesn't make any sense. Actually, I tried to look at it.
Why this thing? Abo bannewe katuufu.
Era nti mbadde ndoza nti kano akaga
akokubiri. Yes.
Make a new tone.
Kano.
That has to be taken by everyone. It is in our own right to have a rightful thinking mind, and we can move it and we can accelerate it. That is the most important thing I would like us to do. That is really very good. I really liked it. You see, when you look at certain people and how they behave, it is quite interesting. It's quite interesting. So I have studied Rogers and see how he behaves. He's some kind of good guy. But by pretense, he will always betray you. Maybe because he's a soldier or what. So he went and narrated everything to Moeski and Rugaba. And he's expecting so much to come and lie to me. He didn't know that he was being followed. Currently now we know whatever he's thinking. And we're not going to allow him. We cannot allow him. We cannot allow him to do that. We cannot have another problem. At this time, we are having a Tamale Mirundi yapping here and there, destroying our image, and putting a full stop to our continuity. And we are getting more challenges from our own people. Then that is a wrong thing, a wrong approach, and we need to do something about it. You see, I told you personally that there are certain things we are working on, but we might not succeed for one great reason. People are not willing to be twisted into thinking of a new creation at this moment when this one is already damaged. They prefer to first of all repair this one, then they can jump on with something new after this one has been repaired. So you allow it to reproduce another one, to produce a replica of the current thing that is moving, the current. So it is upon us to fix what is existing today before we think of creating something new. I understand that. And you see, critically, he was lying to me. Yes, about the whole thing. So when he came around, he was telling me I made a pre-arrangement, he gave me false information. And I based on it, of course, to create something which now seems to be stuck in the mud. It cannot shift even an inch. But the most interesting thing here is that let us organize and go through this mist, because now we are getting obstruction of our sight into the future because of a lot of fracas going on here and there. So I would think personally that, Chairman, if you can spearhead this, I give you the skeleton of the whole thing, and I know you can sit down, analyze it, and envisionalize it, and practice it. That is what I think, and I know you can do it. We have tested your capacity. We all allowed the downfall of the fellowship. Otherwise, had we resisted, you still had the focus and the vision to take us further. That one I know. Thank you for appreciating. I thought maybe people would not see it, and I thought they were casting blame for the downfall of this fellowship on me. That is what I thought. No one ever thought that. Actually, no one ever thought that you could do. Actually, in the first place, it has been about 4 years with uninterrupted lead by you. Unfortunately, what your predecessor did, for you, it was a very visionary thing. We made a lot of money. The unfortunate thing is that the sharing proportionality was always for the top class, and some of us were taken to be the lower middle. Am I right, my boss? No, actually, it is not we whom you think that we are the top class. It was just that the number was too big, that the sharing was overstretched, that we got very little percentages. And some of you could not believe it. You could not believe it. Yeah, maybe that could be true, but we are seeing mushrooming shopping malls. We are seeing mushrooming, high-class, top-end apartments everywhere. Where was that money coming from if it wasn't for this? But Chairman, really, really, we have several investments which we are put in place already. We are blessed, we are being given money to do investments from our wives, from our close relatives who are biologically related to the president. So that accelerated us. So it is not a Waizeka move. No, it was everybody's responsibility to build up to that extent. So in the fellowship, it was just an added advantage, but it never was that. As you think that we are all the proceedings that we get, that we had in the revenue share, it wasn't that. It is not the reality. Anyhow, whatever the situation is now, let us look at the way forward. You see, you got a lot of challenges. You got a phone call from somebody who really told you that they know whatever you're doing and it should be put to a full stop. I know those are things peddled by Tamale Mirundi. Me, I told you that we have to be very decisive. And we decisively choose to move forward. Otherwise, if you listen to phone calls threatening, are they going to break out our eyes, our fingernails? Are they going to amputate our legs or hands? Are they going to behead us? Nothing completely. And we're not doing anything treasonous. We are just creating a bridge that can avoid or can give us access to the future rather than dying in between there. Well, that is your perception. But you should think about the whole thing. Me, whatever Tamale Mirundi does, me, I've been attacked, debilitated, and put down to zero. And I don't care. I don't care. I cared until I could not change anything. So I allowed Tamale to hit us badly. I heard what he was saying on the STV. He destroyed us, did everything to us, and particularly this information goes to His Excellency. Of course, that one I know. Because the information I got is that His Excellency was also trying to counter strategy, was counter strategizing to deflate our efforts. And I know he's doing it, but that is okay. He's going to realize that we are not fighting him, and we're not fighting anyone. But normally it is assumed, according actually to what Tamale Mirundi normally says, that it is a project to fail Muhoozi from rising to power. That is the whole thing. That is the whole thing. So you're not attacking Museveni, but you're blocking Muhoozi from becoming whatever it is. No, but I'm like any other Ugandan. I can choose to go where I want, just like I wish to choose where I want. So if it is a competition to the main, to who takes the top seat in the next destination, then it is everything to go into a hassle. She's more advantaged and privileged than I am. So I need to put more efforts. But His Excellency is putting up efforts for him. Everything is under the silver plate. It is not like us. And that is the difference. Well, that has not gone deep into those things. You know, me, I normally get frightened when you start to go very deep in those things. That's why I normally advise you that why don't you put this on paper rather than discussing only to be had on radio, being mentioned by Tamale Mirundi and all of that. So can't we really stop, that habit? Can't we really stop it? Anyway, that is what I would also suggest, that let us stop talking about this since we can write and all of us can read. So let us always read. We share these notes and immediately after reading we destroy. There is no need to carry on with anything. That is what I would think. I think you are very right. We should stop talking about these things as simply writing. So somebody can duplicate and take to His Excellency a copy. I would rather talk. Tamale Mirundi reports, and I know how to get away with it. But something written is something very dangerous. Nothing should ever be written. That is what I think. When I gave you the strategy, how many people did you share it with? I read it alone and shared it with no one except myself. Well, that is good for you. I trust you for that. But we cannot do this because we are all probed. And we are being perceived as being problematic to others. So we should not tolerate anything. So my suggestion is very simple. Let us do what we are supposed to do. We discuss, we talk, and we go. Whatever the espionage being done against us, soon we are going to find a countermeasure. We are looking for that house. It is going to be well furnished, galvanized, and armored to avoid any kind of espionage. We shall always leave the phones in our cars. Then we sit in, we discuss and go. We have located the facility and we are upgrading it to those standards. So we are not going to stop talking, but we are not going to write anything. Well, that is good. If that is what you suggest, it is okay. It is very okay. It is even safer if nothing is ever written down. There is no tangible evidence to ever pin you down for anything. So with the talk, you can talk anything, but let us fight, inspire them. Me, whenever I listen to Tamale Mirundi, I develop good peoples. I get very uncomfortable. I get depressed. I find several challenges on my head. So let us try to find a solution to this. And really, never things to continue the way they are because we are endangered. Me, I'm already threatened because amongst all of you, yes, I'm the chairperson, but when the trouble rains, it's going to hit me harder because I'm not anywhere closer to where you people belong. So I'm going to be hit hardest. So that is why me, I normally want to opt out whenever I start those things. Because to me, I perceive them as treason. And when His Excellency gets full information about this, it's going to be deep trouble. Question, do you always get frightened? Don't you think he knows? Tamale Mirundi has been recording all of these things and submitting the ghetto discs to His Excellency. And I've been summoned several times, warned off several times, but I've really proved that I'm not rebellious against him. I'm only creating branches which can also be controlled by himself, which can also be adopted by himself. Much as they give me an advantage, it does not mean that they're selfish. They're selfless. Anybody can take them up. And I'll continue defending my position that way. Because it is a clear thing. So I don't want to be perturbed. If that is the case, really, then that is okay. But I really don't want to be probed. I told you already through the whole thing, let us pray that Urania gets through. We hit down Kadaga, we look into those constitutional amendments, we extend the terms to 7 years. And after those 7 years, then we can see how to do. How to take on the rest of the battle. Otherwise, if His Excellency realizes that the 7-year term is a disadvantage to himself, and to be put at ransom at the end of his term, then it is high time. We become very cautious and we caution each and every activity we do because we may never wake up at one day. Really, it is a bit frightening, but I don't want to take it the way Chairman you're taking it. If it has defense lines, then we can rely on the defense lines. But one thing, we don't want to go very deep, and we don't have to act very secretive, because the more secretive we act and we are dug out, we shall be exposed and a lot of evidence will be apparent. So if we are going to work on this, we make sure that it is not treasonous. That is one of the best things I need. And we need to take it to the best practices agreeable by both the NRM party and the regimes and the national constitution. So if it is a political project, let us think about it. That we draw it up in a selfless manner that can accommodate anyone or everyone, rather than creating a project to serve one person that can really be widely perceived as a political rival. So we need to be very careful about that. I was very careful about this before even anyone ever thought of it. So just keep in the range of what I give you. We're going to be very successful. That's what I'm telling you, and I'm assuring you. You don't have to worry about anything. It is going to work out very right.
Atuliza alijo liona omukungu tafutamale edobozi liryo
gari Kadaga ako the problem yange na very only one or two three. One, what is the panic for? How can you prepare a burial site when somebody is not yet dead? Are you a witch? Why are you panicking? There is a political virtue which can be grabbed by somebody else. Two, their methodology of work. We have suffered a lot. John Abaujenga Bagamba, President Yamba 7 billion, never zibba. Kakati they are smelling.
Is a president is a kuwa. Linda Kadono. Is a president is a kuwa. Yazikuwa sabo.
To a project is never zibba.
Nza president azoba zimba ngazi wadde.
Seka mugundi yabo. Kakati bategedde basemeri nze nti eriye endala. Kakati Kalisa yabadde abugumye nga akomyewo. Oba president yali asasulira programu ya Kalisa nga tampa yadde 10. Yabadde ako anti group yabwe era yemu yeyo. Nti era baddemu bakozesa embwa yaabwe. Tulaba bali batadde wakakiika akafu babbye 7 billion. Kati mbubagala bagalewo TV zonna batekewo emumbwe embwa bagito nkubenyondo ne bana mwinja
linda katono
bavuka mwinja
linda katono Tamale
elukiruyu
bagala TV zonna eza
mbu ansindike anti nina popularity
ka TV kizibagala okugala
kati yakalisa yaganye byagambye chairman yagambye it's too bad for Haji Kalisa he destroyed this uyo musajja yagenda program TV ne Kalisa yabadde akomeza umuwanga nabadde mubetento omutwe okwati bamanyi nti
kati muwanga kwatira ko
anti strategy empya embweddeyo era nali Kalisa kye yali akoze
okola muwanga
Kalisa kye yali akoze nti akakiiko kafulume tindiko Museveni yanonze era aba NBS be basooka bali betento omutwe Kalisa
akakiiko akali fake
babjezino 5 zange bazibye kakati ekyokusatu if you are planning for the whole country, how can you sit as a group of criminals?
No, but you don't have to sit as a whole country to plan for the whole country.
Most of those people were indicted by the International Criminal Court for organ extraction and export. What if they are protecting their own interest? Atikati basajja mwekamba bulize. Mawe yagamba, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Chairman Mao, is it all?
Ngaba mupulani ngira muhozi. Kati mi declare openly, I'm supporting muhozi. Mugenda kulaba mizani bwe wanika.
Oza kumuhozi?
Hata ulide bwagambye. Nti onanketa rojazi. Ebintu byonna byennayogedde naye yabiwulidde. Nagandi musajja byakola byonna byakola. Asisi rubbish. Why? If we want to have
ne urutalo rumunyumba gurwagaza yaki kubanga muhozi goli mu
why luli kubusika
obusika bwa kusikira president Museveni owa kusikira yo ekibuhabulwa
where 99% Basiram, the minority Christians must understand what type of movement they are erecting. Is it a fundamentalist or a moderate?
Kubayizo kuleta imani kali naga nti tewabera kuba haleluya wano.
There are 3 catchment areas for the successor. The family can sit and have 2 people to float, but they must be appealable to the population. That's a strategy. Another strategy is a candidate produced by a party. Nga Tanzania. You can also influence in the opposition a man who is not hostile to you at Abasibe.
Southern Africa.
Ono ye President Irana libwe bali bambabazi. President Elisa nabanakula iranti bakomyewe emyaka 7.
Tamale
kati ekyakada ko kiwulidde kyebaliko buli mbaka parliament bamwadde million 200 bagala
million 200 bane bitano
okola embaga million 200 buli muntu era bagala gunde bagala tebagala security ballot abawangulirayo omuwulidde nti olanya bwajja alete ekiteeso Kadaga yalete ekiteeso ekyo kya bulimba. Kadaga there's no speaker who has a veto. If the NRM has a majority, what's the role of a speaker? Because motions are brought in 2 ways.
Olabagala olanyalete ekiteeso nga
abalimba
kubola nyabo muuli na kuzonozo nanga
baga omwami yatugamba doyo yagambye mbumale sawa nga muogerako. Yes, mwatula ni mugamba we baganda use the condoms. Kati yagambye mbwa I'm going to look for people like Hamu bani otujukira kati gondi yabuuza nti are we ragages
Tamalida katono
ekyokubiri
nedda
wulira
mpe ekyokubiri ndio kendete cyane
nti olanya bamutembeya kuba batya Kadaga nti bo balowooza nti ene boda ina potential y'okufuga eggwanga. What's the relationship? Their attitude towards Muhozi is the same attitudes they have towards Kadaga. Bumbite babagala kakati. So it's one. Let me tell you, I did the logic. Let us examine the role of a speaker. Can a speaker veto a motion? can the speaker influence motions? Normally is the government a lead of government business who brings motions.
The Prime Minister?
Yes. If it is a private member's motion, government must accept to meet the financial implications. Certificate of financial implications. Onomwami Yagamba, he prefers to work with the Northerners. Federal use the condoms. Abayistana basiru. So I dismiss the argument. Nti tujja kuleta motion is 5 or 7 years ani Kadaga has gone. How can Kadaga prevent a motion a speaker? Ekitegeze Olanya is being brought by a sinister motive.
Discussion.
If they are doing something good for the president, why have they constructed a building in Kugamba? It is an insulated voice gundi voice proof against the Ahmad. Who has that in mind?
It is soundproofed.
If they are doing something good, why are they hiding in Ahmad Gundi? President. And if they are doing good for the president, why are they fearing to this spying it? Discussion to succession. Shakespeare. People with such heads are dangerous. Tamale Nze kankuzo that boy is very dangerous. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about let's talk about President Museveni's succession. Kubanga the discussion about succession itarinze nti buli tuva mu kalulu tajja kufuga gwanga lino tajja kulifuga okogera ku succession agamba musate netumusajja samukwanira mukazi musajja niyo wakala kitatiso netubalaka kisanja kiramba nga twogera ku succession embozi ya succession tekaddiye nabagamba nti ontayina for back position ye yatamira kiri mu mutwe gwe ani atulokola mu kino President Museveni kuvayo kutubulira abantu bali aweya ngolanga linda kango badukabo eye nyumba bayasibaje jikuba baba zoke chechiru bamanye kiri mu maje nyumba cyo bajja banga mwe bali fuluma vu tekiri Ahmad ndoza nacho kiri tuyamba Ahmad bayingira bali Ahmad oli ali bali musangawo ba nakubira mu ndobo ukaduka kantu yapuse ko kajja kuono tekajja kola bote bali Ahmad. If you are organizing a succession, it must be an open thing. It must not be intended for somebody. Tamale challenge you know one constitution ya Uganda is very clear. Singa president ya Firano lwale lukidireni vice president ya taking over, but everybody is preoccupied by Okorowoza. Vice president vice president wa Uganda is not a vice president for continuity. The constitution, yes, 90 days kakati under NRM bagamba ani anete korubengo kati constitution ya Uganda si constitution ya NRM si fuga Uganda ono si ruto era twakine sema teka tulimula kuna kusibu bonna buli kukadaga na mukodomiwe kubanga constitution tegamba impasive zilizo yavao as is achirivals kati chairman alikodi nelisajja guwa someraji eroya ngofuse gundi company secretary kiri code ngobuli kintu nikiduka nento yacho nikiduka nikitwala ki reporting Dr. Specioza wandira kazi chagambe mbukiru himu kuti the bulletin easy dwe nkutegwe nkuvendu nkukuba utambi gwe nejo josulo Dr. Specioza kazi wenga achali vice president yangoba ko ku minister nkugambe obuyinzo obwo ngabulina let me tell you kakali bano balowooza nti speaker balinza ngabagamba nti president agenda kuresigning enja speaker ina lolo zibiri Speaker bo balaba nti Museveni ayizo obutamalako in such a crisis, yes, in such a crisis, who comes as a transition leader? Olanya.
But how does Olanya come?
Speaker, you have failed. Why somebody pumps 20 million? Mubabaka bitanwa innocent maker.
Then like sebebuza kubanga nechebakololele kijamu.
Yes.
They are pursuing
no, exactly. No. But ati kugaye nti Olanya ekimuleetesa. Two things. They understand. Yagamba akolagana banozana. You cannot have a situation where the Chief Justice is a northerner, the Deputy Governor is a northerner, no guarantee the Speaker, the pillars of the state, everybody is a northerner. Ono yagala banozana to manipulate, but Obote was underestimated. One of the reasons Obote was elected for two reasons: one, he bought to beer. Lule abamu mwingi. Two, Balo was anti-money from the north would develop his own area. Would be easily manipulated. Banabaganda banabamani. Underestimate somebody and see. Ono yero oloye yakuba every rival. Nkubozeza, tell me the commonality what Muhozi shares with Kadaga. Which means this man will fight everybody he perceives. Ebyogundi yabikola mbuyiko inange yatabane bonna akolechi. That's a person is very dangerous.
Ngasubira okusikira jalo.
Ngasubira okusika. Era yakugaye nti busente zote zina kubanga ezo buli mbaka parliament bamwedde miliyoni agaga. Bagala security ballot.
Bazwa dedi.
Bazwa to celebrate. Who has that type of money? Tell me. Era kugaye nti busente siboro bulemu yawe. Na buli sajja afende. Kotoko to Mirundi, every head has a price of one yoko, one to win a price, or one in the principle.
Every head has a price.
Why is serious? I'm 7. Why if somebody, if the president gave me 7 billion in Gazatoka, I would be one of the richest people. But Kazi, President is bringing him money. And the Dutch is a donation, the documents are over. Katiriboga, Toriako to Professor, I will kill those boys. Let anybody touch my money, you will see not.
Nobody took the money. Tell us it was.
Indala. Here we are taking a day in the program.
President Seveninga Quagaranyu. Nakwa Senegal Baziba,
yes. Billion Musambubazi Baba Ban.
President Seventamaya
Kalisa Nentwe, Kalisa Komau. Nani in a committee in Tamuango Mutu. Comment of Manutis in Bambi Money.
Aren't you getting no bitable and angry vintabula? Muanga talk about watching.
Antigubatu Makomewom program with Deco. After Kalisa sensing danger to the president realized Afuna centers are where the program we have da. That program was being paid for by the president himself. Nabaga sente muzijeyo baza katika lisa na duka demu wako zisembwai nganze mbawulira kana katambibwe nkakuba kano kabaka amabega nnyo.
Okay, Tamale kakati out of the
mpakana mache bagambi baga nti akaddiye
gwe
mzee akaddiye
echo kya kudiscussing
baga mzee akaddiye atandise n'okuvuma abagenyi. How can he abuse visitors that they are idiots?
Ekyo ngabadde akyogera
bagamba mbuno omukolo gwabaddeko bazzukulu be. You see, omuntu bwakaddi bwalowoleza mu bazzukulu be abategese omukolo baana baani.
Nafa ababadde otwadde baana bazzukulu.
Mbwe abategese omukolo abatuzizza abagenyi.
But is that a problem? Kubanga nokwe yategese.
We are being sidelined. We are being atefu abali sidelined longeego. Fe mwa sidelined.
Bana bakaba okubera sidelined be bani.
Abantu ababatudde.
Nokutegeka omukolo kuzimba tent nokutekawo ebituufu nga nakyo bagale babakikola.
Group yabadde
kakati tebakikola nekikolebwa bulungi.
Omwala wani we are being sidelined. Mu bintu we are being sidelined. Salandi Muhoza taking an upper hand. Ekyo nekibagamba nti it is very difficult. There is no challenging time in life like graduating from a colony prince to a king. Uwezo kubanga gobadde weyita colony prince nabawe ekyokulabirako nti Kasekabaka Hussein wa Jordan bwe bamuzuula nga alina posted cars was a pilot. The capital of Jordan nagoba longo serving colony prince we muganda we nalonda omwana w'omuzungu naddayo mu America n'afa. Crown Prince kizibu gye bayinza okubanga bakulowooza nti
who of those is a Crown Prince?
Waliwo yeyita Crown Prince.
Yeyita.
Kakati situation ate has changed because imbagamba nti if you want to succeed somebody nalabo omusajja ewaffe byalo yalwala ne bamuleeta ekitovu. Kati bamuleeta ekitovu nga mutabani w'omugagga wa mu Kampala ye musuubuza ayagala kuddayo n'agamba kitaawe n'abaga kitaawe nga tayogera pressure yamukubye n'agamba bannyina nti abasawo baŋŋambye dadi takyasobola kulikavalinga. Instead of wasting time here and money, why don't we take him back home?
Arwalire waka.
Arwalire waka. Evubuka ly'okukyalo erya boda likola boda nerigamba nti
wona zalwe ebiseera
wano wangu kubanga abasawo tubayita mangu naye eka omusitula kukola ki shall get problems. Omuvuka w'omu Kampala olwagenda kitaawe n'asaba olupapula naga nti mumpize gundi ngobu problem was nabo kwatadda. If we were not doing something sinister, illegal, treasonable, why do you go to the extent of writing but kwata? Why you to be wezo kwera mu church eminence serodines okwamanti lwachi bankwata mu church ndabyamu abo butambi. And this is what you are going to talk about.
Byogenda okubuulira sibituufu.
Why do you hide? To the extent of constructing a building.
You would actually want to preach in camera zikukutte enjiri esaasaane.
Omusajja obusika we yabugabira. Yatunuulya nga ono omulenzi amuwaddeyo apulifalinga maali ye. Ono omwana omuto ye omukozi wa boda akkiriza okulekayo yinkamu ye eya boda alabire kitaawe. That's why we say graduating from a Crown Prince to a king is very challenging. Bayinza kubanga bakuobservinze nga you are very ambitious. Bayinza kubanga bakuobservinze nga you are arrogant. Bayinza omwana omulenzi ayinza okukola ekintu kimu kati fe Abaganda kasita kitaawe abayagala okudisqualifyinga aga nti yantuula mu kifuba. Omwana ng'omulenzi oyo yantuula mu kifuba tosika
omuzito oweredde
aweyagala omu ku bakazi b'abato
kale
omuganda bwakiyita ye
kutula mu kifuba
nti oyo omulenzi omukulu muganye tajja kunsikira yantuula mu kifuba
abakumaze
kakati okikola ddi amala kukaddiwa n'aleeta abawala abato bewenkana nabo n'obazannyirako nga obatolooza nti nnyoko kyobala tukula tuwet from kakati wayinza okubawo environment
walibeerawo situation Tamale President Museveni lwali tulaga omusika oba kijja kwekola bwekozi
what Museveni does what nkugambye nti what benefits a country you cannot come to me and tell me that Mirundi ani ali kusikira unless you are
planning to kill you
insinuating that all my boys are not mine. How does a country get success? I've told you there are 3 or 4 catchment areas for success. The first family can produce appealable people. Unafananyi kitaawe
tutandikire kwa Tamale
siwuliranga yo mukase kira sezaalawe it will be very unique.
Tutandikire kwa Tamale has the first family ngabo ujiraba ina musamba da appealable to the public
and nkubulire politics is a name and money nti luchamuzi yaletani waleta limu obate talimu
ne muzukuru wa mimi
msajja akoze argument n'agamba
ne muzukuru wa mimi Sharifa naye yalaide
owe ko mutabani we Hitler yaleta mutabani we Amini yaleta mutabani we gondi opote
Amini yaleta mutabani we nga bato batabani
wona mugami nti ezo ziba ntalo but if somebody has cultivated gondi himself General Park kanu kacheka walake bakasiba naye idwachi kabadde popular mu Pakistan mugundi
South Korea
yes kitabu wako paka ya Rwanda General Park
yazimbe jibaita Korea yola bulwale
ne bana abo mu North Korea ijajjabo yali jenu gende Pakistan bani butu bamwanika kalaba mwalawe teyajja genda India India bagandi babelako ne namwandu soniyo mu Italy nga the name Gandhi yakati bayina Gandhi ko batunulira so in policy why should
Trump yawangula ko muzukuru wa Bush Jeb yali amwesimbye ngagala kujja ko Bush oli Bush omulala yali ajja
ereta Bush senior ne Bush ki
ne Bush omulala yali ajja
Kennedy family dominated a constituency for 45 years nga yabwe ba Kennedy bamaze kugwawo. So politics is a name and the money. If my father performs
so catchment area number 1 your first family.
Yes.
But
you must get somebody who is appealable. 2 that man must be disciplined to ensure balibe basoko okuvetinga.
Catchment area number 1. Yes. Catchment area number 2.
Because a president cannot allow somebody to succeed him if he can create his own political base within a very short time, or if he does not attribute his success to him. Ajaganti afuta lolo. Nalisi na manyigange. Sali mugaga. Sasoma. Kubitabo byawandika. Kakati okubiri
ngechali kize e Burundi nti lwa Nkuruziza kufa naye okuleta Ndayishimiye Everest bali bamuwadde n'ekifo mu constitution nga bakita supreme guide bagenda mu asente weziti atule wali awule akolatya agaidinga yambe simanyi bayafa butwa
bayagala twasasi ogenze gendera ddala
simanyi bayanywa butwa ne yafanze kimanyi nti yafa mutima
biyo wa Cameroon yali president bamitanga hijo nga bia vice president wa hijo bia nakolaga na doketa mu Faransa namuga nti omutima gukuba bubinyo bomala kuba president omwezo ofana abuta bagenda mukebelanga mulamuteke naye agala okudda bia namukuba mukomera so tricks tuzita Paris schools. Another area is the party. A party can produce in Tanzania. You can at 35 years you would even influence the opposition ngabu wagamba one ti abava mu opposition manya abava mu chama cha mapinduzi bebalagawa kuba be bayina good. Yes, kakati a party opposition, a party, a family member and a good an independent man ke gundi kakati ba peloti bani mu America batandise okujja lwaki muka Clinton yajja mukono ajavuganye ngaba yavuganye. Politics is the name and the money and the contribution of you rely on the shoulders and the contribution of your parents. Yes, uli mutabani wani
parliament inzo kutuyamba okushaping a succession
anti kakati boche banu
nenda mbuza kati opinion yo nga political scientist
ayagala mugema na mulangiranga uwe kakati tuve oli ayagala chief justice na mulangirira anti uwe
naye okusinzira kugwe
the man is selfish.
Orabanga parliament esobola okutuyamba okushaping a succession story
the moment Museveni
tuvakoli yagalizoranya
Museveni consult an idea emerges from once negena museke negena mu party. If this time comes, that's why I'm telling him, you boyise wonyo chikwete yali ayagala nnyo nyeri namuganti kijana wacha speed wacha
yali ayagala kusoka mukapa gundi namtekateka
gundi so yina mpisa gundi tula
bamutekateka
population you can even scare the population
batekateka mtekete
yes
bamutekateka na jodo vanyuma
bagembu muzee akaddiye agende muzee yakaddi
nufene tukaddi
mulaba
ninga bwe nali 10 years ago
nekiwandika ko wani kabasomera
tugenda kasoma kanonga tukomyewo nga tuvode birango naye njagala okukola Tamale parliament yatekize she
nze it is clear obwa president kintu kinene. I also have interest to pursue in this country. That's why the interest is sizange. Even if you kill me, you cannot force me to support your project by coercion. You had the authority to chase me from State House. Wali wasezala. Neno omutwe gwange oguno abemmengo bibagamba. Obato ompagi obato twagere sese kuba omutwe no omutwe gwa. No omutwe gwa gumba. Katonda emitroti jija mengo. That's why I disagreed with these mengo people. Atabagera bya fast likajango byogere wange benyondo omutwe. 2 kakati so far Otafire bamubuuza nti kugenda kuwagira ndi mu kalulu kwa president naga nti obaye Otafire ali fani yabaga nti that is a stupid question. So far I've seen one candidate omanyi nti Besigye declared yali nominated before Museveni yaga kati njogere kwani there is only one candidate
mani yali nominated before Museveni
anti party ya mulonda before FDC did everything launching a manifesto kuba babibeno zina babulira tosobola kukola bantu nkaga kukolera manifesto basima golinga ebintu okujja kongo bakutudde mu nti economy guwandika kuki kati ebintu bya Museveni babisima golinga ale ono najja akola ki najja afulumya manifesto
FDC yakopa NRM
Tuweza kudira bantu bajifura this is a task force to write a manifesto. See abantu wana. Do you know Mose has appointed me to sit on his manifesto. Nogenda ngala byale.
Chabulijo okulo na manto milioni ana omuntu naba ina
kwesana. Waliwo professor. President yamuganti write a paper for me. Ekwata ku 1966 crisis. I'm going to address my soldiers at Chimaka. Najiwandika. Ya musanga wonga atudde ku bench ezo maaso teyakisoma ebijja mu mutwe we
bino professor byamuwandikira
ebisoma
era 66
nemubuuza ne kasajja gwina amagezi oba president I wanted to guide him
nga presenting I'm government not your excellency Tamale
I'm telling you
Tamale nedda
I'm telling you
italiyo
babikola
yatula mu congregation
mu conference center
agame president
nasoma ekintu ku economy exactly as we did it ngala bizabu sejembe because they want to be ndana mulagira era gundi yo kyechamu manya kyasula yona gundi kyeyune bwe yatulanga ne president ku mukolo ngasebo bwe nakusaba kino no kikola ne nkusaba wekiso sije kyamusula
ngire kyeyune
era sebo ngaba nakusaba kino no kikola ne nkusaba kino no kikola na kino nkusaba okikole that's the president rely on you on your ideas you would even be happy that what you said
yechikiriza
is included but you don't go and
olikyogera olikiwandika mu kitabo kyonga president yafuze ko no musaba kyo
lekyo nti baleni ni bitabo ebyo nabe babiwandikanga where could they get time